racism doesn't exist.
Crime is the new black entitlement.
Welcome to Alan Colmes Versus, where we get to discuss some of the more controversial things that have been said in the recent news cycle with the key pundits and players who are getting attention on both traditional and digital media, the epitome of what we like to call around here fair and balanced. Joining me today from Los Angeles, founder and president of Bond, Brotherhood Organization for New Destiny, the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee, welcome. I see you got a book coming out in just a couple of months called The Antidote. Let me ask you about Black Lives Matter. That is coming under fire from conservatives. Do you understand, as a black guy, why it's important to make that statement?
No,
you don't.
It's ridiculous. These people do not care about black Americans. As a matter of fact, all lives matter, not just black lives, but these people are being used by George Soros and others to really redefine and change America by accusing white cops of being racist when it's really not true. If Black Lives Matter really cared about black people and their lives, they would go around the country to these urban areas where black on black crime is out of control, and they would protest there. They would do something to get those people to stop killing one another.
Let me just show you a statistic here that the FBI put out and Washington Post reported on, that overall blacks are killed at 3 times the rate of whites or other minorities when adjusting by population of the census tracts where the shootings occurred. There's definitely a systemic problem here. Do you deny that statistic by the FBI?
Well, there is a problem in our country where crime is out of control, black lives are being taken, but it's not by white Americans or other police officers in our country. And if you really take a good look at it, Alan, the blacks who have been arrested or killed by police officers are those, for the most part, who have resisted arrest in one form or another.
You've got Eric Garner in New York. Eric Garner was not resisting arrest. You've got Tamir Rice in Cleveland.
Yes, they tried to.
Go ahead.
But that's not true, Alan. They tried to handcuff him. He was fighting against them. He brought that upon himself. Had he just put his hands behind his back.
According to the video, that's not true. According to the video. But when you find out, and the FBI says that blacks are killed at 3 times the rate of whites, doesn't that concern you?
They are killed at the rate 3 times at the rate of whites, but not by white people, not by cops,
by police officers. These are police statistics.
It's happening. Well, if they are killed by cops in that number percentage, it's because they are not following the instruction of the officers. And I have to tell you, Alan, this type of brainwashing that white police officers are against black people have been going on and being taught for the last 50 years or so. When I was in my 20s and moved to Los Angeles, I heard Jesse Jackson and the so-called civil rights leaders and others say that the Justice Department was racist and that cops were stopping black people because of their color. And then years later, we get Barack Obama in the White House, and he encouraged the same type of environment by saying that we're living in the Jim Crow days, and that's not true.
Let me show you what Barack Obama said just last night. He said, "I promised," and he was talking to the widow of Officer Goforth, who was just shot down. He said, "I promised that I would continue to highlight the uncommon bravery the police officers show in our communities every single day. They put their lives on the line for our safety. Targeting police officers is completely unacceptable and an affront to civilized society." Why is the president being criticized when he's clearly coming out in favor of police officers with a statement like that?
What he should have said to the families, "I apologize for what happened to the officer, and I apologize for encouraging this type of environment by sending representatives from the White House to the thug Michael Brown and others' funeral, implying that white officers are racist against black people and causing these people, the blacks, to go after the cops." He should have been apologizing for creating that environment.
You're blaming the president for the death of Michael Brown, for example? Is it the president's fault that he was killed?
I'm not blaming him for the death of Michael Brown, but I'm blaming him and the Department of Justice for creating that environment by giving this illusion that our police officers are against black people
When he
simply
says
because
targeting
of their
police
color.
is completely unacceptable, he said. Do you accept that statement from the president?
Just like the drug dealer that sells you your first hit of cocaine. You become addicted to the drug. Now you got to go back to the dealer for the service. He said, hey, I'm sorry that you are addicted. He never apologized for
Well, first
causing
the
you to
president's
become
criticized
addicted.
for being silent. Then when he says this is unacceptable, he gets criticized for that.
Why did he have to come out by force and not by choice? This is not the first time that our officers have been killed by these thugs. Where has he been so long, and why now? You can't trust this president. This man is not an honest man. He's about the redistribution of wealth and power, so he has encouraged this type of thing, and we should not forget what he has
He
done.
just came out strong in favor of police. But listen, Jesse Lee Peterson, appreciate very much your being with us. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, Alan.
Reverend
I
Peterson,
appreciate
we
it.
thank him. Be sure to follow the Reverend on Twitter at JLP Talk. And I'm Alan Colmes. Thank you very much for
Mindset
watching.
and nature of a woman. As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male, you're a beta male. Not an alpha male.
What a shame.
Mombi's boy. As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes. Beta male, you're a beta male. Not an alpha male.
What a shame.
Mombi's boy.